You don't feel like studying, you don't study, you get frustrated. After getting frustrated, you again don't like studying, again you don't study, and again you get frustrated. Hello and welcome everyone. If you are new here, I am Saroj, an intern doctor at TU Teaching Hospital Institute of Medicine. Today I will be discussing about how I prepared for my final exam in short period of time. If you are a medical student like me, you will have a lot to study before your exams. What we do is we procrastinate and we don't study until our exams come. So it is always too late to start. And even if we start early, the bulk of our syllabus is so big that we generally get lost on where to start. This happened to me as well. However, I managed to complete my syllabus on time using different techniques which I will be sharing here today. So let's get started. So the first tip would be to follow the syllabus strictly. Look, medicine is an ocean and you cannot study everything. It's a fact. So you have to be jack of all topics that's in the syllabus, and please do not miss any topics however small it is, because you never know when you will be tested on it. So what you can do is you can make a study plan and divide the topics for each day. It will help you, as at the end of the day you will know whether you have completed for that day or not. You will also know whether your speed is appropriate, whether you will cover all the topics in your estimated time, and you will also know whether you have to reschedule your plan or not. Make a list of those topics that you are studying that day and cross-check it before you go to sleep. This will help you to command your syllabus according to your time limit. The next tip would be to start from the basic topics. Starting from huge topics that are confusing will only make you feel less confident, and you will feel that you cannot complete the syllabus in time. So always start with those topics that you have studied earlier, or those topics that are too small to complete in short period of time. It will make you feel confident and you will feel that you have accomplished some task, and it is a great feeling. This will also help you to start new chapter. Once you complete few chapters, it will be easy for you to take bigger topics. So always start from short topics that will help you to gain confidence that you can complete the syllabus in your own time. If you ask me what is that one thing which helps you to cover more topic in less amount of time, it will always be group discussion. I used to be a lone learner until my final year. Then I made a group of 3-4 friends. We used to sit in the library and study similar topics, and when we had any confusion we used to discuss on it. Group discussion will clear all your confusions. Also, you will feel that you are taking a break from your normal study schedule. However, you will be learning a lot through the discussion. It actually made my study fun and more memorable, because the more you discuss, the more you tend to remember those stuffs. There will be times when bizarre thoughts will start to come. You will feel that you are too slow. You are going too slow compared to your friends. You will feel sleepy often, and that you have been forgetting whatever you have read, and you don't feel like studying, and it becomes a vicious cycle. You don't feel like studying, you don't study, you get frustrated. After getting frustrated, you again don't like studying, again you don't study, and again you get frustrated. Trust me, it happens to everyone. We are all the same. If I have done it, you can do it as well. It is just that someone is a bit smarter and hardworking than you are, but you can do it as well. Study every day according to the schedule that you have made. Take enough breaks. I used to take a lot of breaks. Grab a coffee if you are feeling sleepy. Just don't give up. If you feel like you have been forgetting that you have already studied, or you are not confident about some topics, then you should know that you are lacking a proper revision. There are several methods for revising your topics. I used a method called spaced repetition. In this method, after you have studied a particular topic, you have to reschedule it after a few days to revise. There will be few topics which you will forget every time you read it, like doses of different emergency drugs. You need to know them. But if you don't revise, you are bound to forget the dose of drugs. And if you don't revise the name of drugs, you will even forget them. So for this, I used an app called Anki, in which I used to create a questions and answers and use the app to revise the same drugs and their doses when I was on my break. I will give you an example. There will be a question on management of hyperkalemia. So you have read it multiple times. When the question will come, you will obviously write, we have to give calcium gluconate, glucose, insulin, and nebulize the patient with salbutamol. But what you will forget is that if the hyperkalemia does not get controlled with these medications, you have to get the patient on dialysis. So there are different medicines and different procedures that you have to write under the same question. So for that reason, you need to revise all those things, including name of drugs, their doses, and what if it does not get controlled by those drugs. So for that, you need to revise the topics regularly, and Anki will help you with that. Another great way of remembering things is by making a mnemonics. It is particularly important for those topics where you have to remember different points on those topic. For example, in pediatrics, you will be asked about how will you manage a baby with cyanotic spells. So you need to know all the points that's there in the book, but you will forget it often because you have never managed such case in the real scenario. So what I did was I made a mnemonics for the management of cyanotic spells, especially by picking the initial letters of different drugs and different procedures that is there, and it helped me to remember all the points that was there under the management of cyanotic spells. There are different apps and websites that will help you to find different mnemonics. I will link some of them in the description, but it is better if you make your own mnemonics because you will then remember it for a longer period of time. And don't make those mnemonics that are not related to the topic, because then there will be mnemonics that you will forget, and then you have to make mnemonics to memorize mnemonics, which will again be a waste of time. I used to think that I am a pro in clinically examining the patients until I examined a real patient. What we usually do is we practice clinical examination on our friends who is more than cooperative and normal. The case is different with real patients. When I started examining a patient in neuromedicine ward, he has got a stroke. The scenario was completely different than examining your own friends. Most of the time, patients will not comprehend. Some patients cannot speak. There might be a language barrier. You cannot give commands to semi-conscious patient to lift their leg when you are going to assess the power. So what I want to say is that the scenario is different between you examining your normal friends and you examining the real patients. So once you are done practicing your clinical examination on your friends, please do practice on real patients too. Otherwise, you will mess it up. That's for sure. So that is all for today. If you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you have any queries or you want to see specific videos on some specific topics, do write in the comment sections below. And please consider subscribing the channel, as I will be uploading a new blog on working in emergency department very soon. Till then, take care, stay safe, and continue studying.